Hello and welcome to this week's weather video. I know we went through the whole week there. The week just wasn't that interesting. We had a lot of days where we started off with we had this trough throughout the week, so we had a lot of days that started off clear, and then we'd have these clouds develop. Show you what sort of like what this week looked like in pictures, I guess. And you can see we just had started off with a lot of clouds, and it was clear in the morning, but then you had these clouds build up. I mean, there were a couple of, luckily I got to see some fall colors. This was at Belmont Lake. Yeah, but then you have these clouds pop up later on in the day. That's what always winds up happening every day. Same thing here. This is Canaan Lake and Patchogue, North Patchogue. So you always had these clouds popping up. And same thing kind of happened yesterday, too. We had sunshine. This is Massapequa Preserve, and then these clouds kind of started developing. But today was finally a day where we wound up having mostly sunny skies. And I have a video that will be putting up after this video of Connecticut River State Park on the east side. Really some nice color from the oaks showing over there. So, yeah, we're still getting some decent foliage. So you can see that that this upper level system is kind of like moving a little more to the east now. That's been dogging us for much of the week. So we'll just go over the ice slip weather that we've had. So high of 61 and a low of 46. The high was pretty close to normal. Temperatures have been pretty close to normal. The high was 60 for yesterday, Saturday. High was 61 and low of 41. So a little bit below normal, but again, fairly close to normal. With the clouds hanging around at night, we never really got any huge amounts of radiational cooling. Friday, high of 62, low of 42. So this is kind of typical of what we've been seeing the past number of days. We'll go to Thursday, high of 64. Thursday was a little bit warmer, high of 64. Thursday wound up being a little bit above normal. And then we'll go maybe one more day here. I don't know what I'm up to here at this point. We'll go one more day here. For Wednesday, and Wednesday was really a much warmer day, high of 68. So, but the temperatures have again close to normal to a little bit below normal. I don't think there's been too much radiational cooling. We'll go ahead and look at our current conditions right now. You do notice that there's some frost advisories out. There hasn't been much radiational cooling because of the cloud cover, but tonight we're getting radiational cooling, so it's going to be quite cool. And look at that, West Hampton already down to 34 degrees, and I think the Pine Barrens probably going to drop below freezing. I'm surprised they have not issued a frost advisory for Long Island, because I think we're going to see frost in the morning. I think it's definitely going to get down below, at least for the Pine Barrens, it's going to get down below freezing, I think. And you can see that is the current low right now. You can see if you look overnight, because the cloud cover, we never really had radiational cooling, cloud cover, and the wind kind of kept the temperatures up at night, even though the highs during the day were that's why we weren't that much below normal. If we had that radiational cooling, it would have been a lot colder. But you start to see the 45 at Islip. Unfortunately, the alley is 54, so I already looked at the alley. It's 54, so that's close to the temperature at LaGuardia. No radiational cooling here. And looking at New Jersey, there Miller Air Park's down to 39. Only a little bit warmer there because there's some more clouds. So we can look at the highs and lows on the map. Just go over the highs. And you can see high temperatures generally around 60 degrees. No big variations, low 60s. Fairly close to normal. That's what it's been. Maybe close to normal and maybe a little bit below normal the past couple of days. And again, you had that sun, and then the sun started in the morning, and then you had the clouds kind of build in. But today was the first day where I think the day was mostly sunny for most of the day. We had some clouds earlier on, and then the rest of the day was mostly sunny. Looking at the drought monitor, I'm bringing this up because we still have moderate drought on Long Island, moderate drought North Jersey, and parts of New York City. But as you go down into Ocean County, the Jersey Shore area, no drought there. And we're ending up normally dry here in Nassau County. So the drought definitely affecting the colors. The leaves aren't staying on the trees very long, particularly the maples and the wetland trees. The oaks, I don't think they're as affected as much. So hopefully we'll still see some of the more color from them. Looking at our weather map, you can see we've got this nice high over us. We've got developing low pressure there in the lower Midwest into the Gulf. And then there's Hurricane Melissa, which is going to be a huge disaster. We're going to talk about this because Melissa is increasing. It has really exploded. A lot of the models were saying this was going to happen. And unfortunately for Jamaica, this storm is going to stall over Jamaica. And we're going to go to that map here, the warning cone map first. You can see hurricane warnings in effect for parts of Cuba, tropical storm warning in effect for parts of Hispaniola, and major hurricane going over Jamaica. And it's look at how long it's going to take to get. It's going to take a day at least to get over Jamaica. So this is the danger we have, and Jamaica is going to be suffering a major disaster. I really hope a lot of people were able to get off the island, because I think it's going to be an absolute tragedy what we're going to see over there. And let's take a look at the latest public advisory on Melissa. Life-threatening and catastrophic flash flooding and landslides expected in portions of Jamaica and southern Hispaniola through midweek, with hurricane-force winds likely to begin tomorrow. As of 8 p.m., its location is 16.4 north, 77.3 west, about 115 miles south-southwest of Kingston, Jamaica, and about 295 miles south-southwest of Guantanamo, Cuba. Maximum sustained winds are now 145 miles an hour. This thing just became a hurricane yesterday, so it really exploded. Here's the biggest problem: moving west at only 5 miles an hour. Minimum central pressure 933 millibars, 27.55 inches. And this is going to be a major disaster because of the rainfall. And it is a Category 4 hurricane. It's likely to become a Category 5. The extent of hurricane force winds is up to 30 miles from the center, and tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 205 miles from the center. So let's take a look at some satellite imagery of Melissa. So we'll go over that first. So this is Melissa right here. Look at that. I know they've been having some issues with the site, but take a look at that. I mean, that is a perfect eye right there. Just perfect. You can see it's just barely moving. It's barely moving. And that is a perfect clear eye in the center. Look at that. Perfectly clear eye. So if you were in that eye, you'd have a full stadium effect. And you can see this thing just looks incredible. And there's also a lot of lightning in the eye too. Take a look at all that lightning as well. We're going to go over several satellite loops of Melissa. We'll have the Caribbean satellite loop too, so we're going to go over that too as well, the Caribbean, where we can get a longer loop of it. Now the site has been acting up, so we're having some. All right, here it is. So here's Melissa, and I just want to put this in a longer loop to show you how slowly this thing has been moving. Now we are missing, and just to watch its evolution, this is like almost you can see we kind of missed some data. There satellite site was down, which is, I mean, it took them a long time to get it back up. This is not the time to have this happen. But you can see, look at that eye. I mean, that's like a clear, just a perfectly clear eye right there. Go to MODIS here as well. It's funny how I hit MODIS and somehow it went back to that. Let's try that again. Oh, maybe I hit the wrong thing. Here we go. All right, so here it is. We're going to look at, see if we can get there it is, right there. So that is Melissa. I mean, that eye is, look at that eye. That's incredible. That's like a nearly clear eye in the center. That's nuts. So really crazy stuff, this storm. Really crazy. We're going to go now to tropical tidbits and take a look at, first I'll just show you the CONUS view. We'll do the CONUS satellite view just to show you everything. So you see there's the storm system here. This is going to be kind of moving off to our south. We have a high over here that's going to try to protect us. And then we've got Melissa over here, down here at the bottom. So let's go to tropical tidbits now and go ahead and look at some satellite imagery from Melissa here as well. So I could just go to current storms. Here's Hurricane Melissa. So look at this thing. That is so symmetrical. I mean, just incredible. Look at that. Look at all the this is a very, very strong hurricane. Very strong. Very unusual. Could be the strongest hurricane to ever hit Jamaica. Jamaica, like I said, I really hope that people got all out of Jamaica, because Jamaica is going to be cut off from the world for quite a while after this thing is done with it. And this is going to be major. And Hispaniola, too, but Jamaica is going to get the brunt of it. What a just unbelievable. Look at how fast it's spinning. It's really incredible to see this thing. Looking at the spaghetti models, after it's done with Jamaica, Hispaniola, and eastern Cuba, it's going to move out over the ocean. So it won't affect anyone else, but this is going to be a major disaster for other countries. And we'll see if the United States helps, because we all know the kind of political situation this country's in right now. So you see most of the models keep it at least a Cat 4. I think it could become a Cat 5. It's not that far away from it. I think it will become a Category 5, honestly. I really do. I really do think it will become a Category 5. So this is an insane storm. And just to, show you the European model here, we'll show you the European model and show you what this is doing here. So this is the European model, which, honestly, go to the gusts. I mean, this wind gusts. So this is the European model. And you can see it's probably going to have it strengthen even more as it moves. So you can see it's kind of moving west, and then it's going to move right over. It looks like the Euro has it going over the west part of Jamaica, which puts most of Jamaica in the northeast semicircle, which is the most down. So this is going to be, it's going to be, it could wobble a little bit, go a little bit. You see, the problem is it moves very slowly. And this is the problem. Once it's over there, I mean, literally, it just takes all day to get out of there. Finally gets out of there by Wednesday. And then it'll weaken as it interacts with some of these land masses. But I'm telling you, this is going to be, and the thing is, it's not just the hurricane force winds. It's not just the storm surge, but it's going to be the rain. Let's take a look at rain accumulation, because we're going to show you this here. So I can move this back. It would be nice. Let's get this back here, and I'm just going to move this up here. Take a look at this. A foot of rain, over a foot of rain, perhaps, in some of these areas. So that's going to cause a lot of mudslides. This is going to be a major, one of the worst disasters that Jamaica has ever seen, I think, for sure. So this is, I really hope that people got out of Jamaica and evacuated Jamaica, because it's not a place that you want to be for this storm at all. All right. We can go to vent to sky as well, and look at, it's a little. Oh, here's what is going on here. There's Melissa down here. So this is Melissa. Go to wind gusts and look at this thing. I mean, this thing is incredible. This thing is underestimating it, too, by the way. All right. So this thing is underestimating it. Clearly underestimating it. So this is the HRRR model. So it's a different model than the Euro, but again, it does seem to takes it west, and then it hits the western part of Jamaica. So it has the western part of Jamaica getting hit. And look at this thing, 7 a.m., 11 a.m., it's barely moving. While all these areas are getting lashed with heavy rain, and I think this is where most of the cities are in Jamaica, if I'm not mistaken, on the west side of Jamaica, I think. I don't think there are too many cities I think it's mainly the west side of Jamaica. So this is going to be a big problem, all right? And this is the afternoon. You see, it's still. So Tuesday is the day that it's going to be making impact. It's going to take all day tomorrow to even get there, but they're going to start getting lashed by these hurricane winds. And the waves, you can look at the sea. I mean, this is going to be, incredible waves here, just smashing into the coast here. So this is going to be the rainfall, all this stuff. It's going to be an absolute disaster. So this is a big concern, all right? So let's get back to our weather here. And let's talk about our weather. We'll go to the models here. And kind of first go to the North American view here and look at the jet stream. We'll obviously start with the European here. To the jet stream. So here's the jet stream. You can see we've got a little trough over us. You can see there's like a big ridge. It's kind of a really messed up jet stream. Here's Melissa. There's not much steering winds, which is why this thing is moving so slow. And see, that's the issue that it's dealing with. And it slowly, you can see there it is moving over Jamaica Tuesday. At the same time, you see that the jet stream is just looking absolutely crazy. I mean, this is like literally just tying itself in knots. But we'll still have fair weather tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow should be the nicest day of the week. And then you can see just a very strange jet stream here. And then Thursday, so here's Melissa. You can see it eventually does get picked up by that trough. And there's a low. That low that's developing in the south is going to start moving up our way and bring us rain Thursday, most likely. And it's going to be a strong trough and a strong storm. And we'll have to see what kind of interaction it has with Melissa as well. But look at this jet stream. It's just really messed up. Really messed up. And I'm going to look at the 18Z run in this because there's a lot going on in this week. I'm not going to go look at November in this video, all right? We can, too much, all right? Because we got a lot going on this week, all right? Let's go to the upper air. So you see what we got going on here. And again, there's that almost, you see that blocking, all right, that we have, all right? So it keeps the trough in place. We've got an upside down pattern. There's Melissa. And by upside down, I mean it's actually, there's warmer weather to the north. It's more above normal temperatures. We'll go ahead and look. You can see that there's a ridge there, right? So there's the trough that develops in the southern plains. This is a strong low too, and then that moves west of the Appalachians and kicks Melissa out to sea, pretty much. All right, and here's Saturday. All right, so this is going to be a very, like I said, a very major disaster for that area. Now we'll go ahead and look at the GFS as well, 18Z run, see if there are any differences here in this. GFS does look a little different with that low, a little stronger. And it does seem to, we do have a little, this goes out a little further, so I'm not going to go out any further than this. But generally the same idea at this point. If we go back to European, I'll just go ahead and look at the temperature anomaly, so I'm just going to show you that you have those above normal temperatures up in Canada. And cooler than normal, to slightly cooler than normal over us. And we will go warmer than normal ahead of that low on Thursday. It could be an LLJ event with that. And that would be our next opportunity for some rainfall around here. But still seeing those above normal temperatures in Canada on the European. So let's go to the CONUS view, and we'll go ahead and look at the surface now on the Euro. So here's that big high, and we'll have one really nice day tomorrow. You can see that low. That high is trying to protect us and keep us dry while that low is developing. So low number 1 develops and kind of goes off to the south. So we're still dry Tuesday, though there could be sucky drizzle, more likely south of our area. The sucky drizzle could become a little more of an issue as we get into Wednesday. There is Melissa over there. At the surface, you see Melissa. And that does get kicked out. And Thursday would be our day to get some rain in. It could be heavy. It could be heavy rain with an LLJ type of event. And then for Friday, Halloween, the last day of October, we're back into a westerly flow. Drying out, but there could be cloud cover because of instability. And it will be windy as well, taking a look at how close those isobars are. So that's the GFS. You can look at the GFS and see if there are any differences here. They pretty much look pretty similar. They pretty much look pretty similar at this point, I would say. Pretty similar. So, going back to the Caribbean here, let's take a look at that again. I've got one for the Caribbean. Let's see. Got tropical or Western Atlantic. We can do that. So Go back to the European here, looking at Melissa. So you can see how it tightens up, and it's going to intensify more before it makes that landfall to Jamaica. Once it interacts with Jamaica, it'll weaken a little bit, but not that much. When it interacts with Hispaniola and Cuba, where I think that'll weaken a little more. But I still think it stays a formidable hurricane right out there, as it gets picked up by that trough. It's still going to stay pretty strong, I think. And again, the big issue again, it's not just the winds, but again, if we look at these rainfall amounts, I mean, this is insane here. That yellow you see is, like I said, over a foot of rain, which is crazy. And this is going to be, like I said, a major disaster for that area. And my prayers are with them, obviously. I really hope that as many people got out of Jamaica as they could. And if you're in Hispaniola, probably try to get out of there too as well, though Jamaica is going to get the brunt of this. Anyway, now that we looked at all that stuff, let's go and take a closer look at the shorter range with our weather here. Obviously, precipitation, there really won't be any, though it looks like the HRRR is developing some shower activity. It could move over New Jersey right through, again, this goes through out to Tuesday night. Let's look at the dew points and wind flow. All right, so we have a northeast wind, dry air in place. We have a north wind that's going to be coming a little more northeasterly tomorrow. Again, that could push some more clouds, especially in Jersey. That always happens over Jersey when you have a northeast wind. And then the winds turn a little more toward the east on Tuesday. And you see that storm going by to our south, and you start seeing a little more moisture starting to work in to the area as we get into Tuesday night. The dew point starting to rise, and that could introduce some sucky drizzle, perhaps. Temperatures tonight, we're going to have lows in the 30s, I think, from most everybody, except probably me. And if you live in, anyone else lives in urbanized areas. But lows probably below freezing if you're in the Pine Barrens. I think it's going to be some good radiational cooling. And tomorrow, going to be a pretty cool day. Maybe a tad cooler than today. Maybe probably mid to upper 50s. Maybe a tad cooler. And then tomorrow night, we'll drop back again, I think, to the 30s, though. We'll have to see if there's radiational cooling because of cloud cover that's going to be moving in. And then Tuesday, similar temperatures again, highs around 60. So a little bit below normal, nothing crazy, but definitely a little bit below normal. And if we want to go a little further than that, then let's go ahead and look at the European. And so here's the European. We'll show you what's going to happen here. So as we get into Wednesday, you start seeing the humidity increase. The winds go east. And very strong winds, too. Very strong winds Tuesday from the east, so we're going to have to watch for this. It's going to be an LLJ kind of event. You can see the warm front comes through. The dew points shoot up. Going to get very humid Thursday, all right? You can see there's going to be an LLJ, and the Euro is a little slower with this now, so has a pretty strong LLJ on Thursday. Very strong southeasterly wind here. Dew points rising, and then this front moves through, and the dew points drop very quickly. That is a sharp cold front right there that you're seeing. And that could even mean severe weather. The storm system is going to bring severe weather to the south as well. So temperatures Wednesday, start to see the temperatures start increasing as we get into the warmer air. And Thursday, with that warm sector, well into the 60s, is expected. And then Friday, we start dropping off again. Into the weekend, we start dropping off. All right. If we look at the European, as far as the precipitation, again, most of it is going to occur on Thursday. So here it comes, and these look like heavy thunderstorms. Look at this stuff. So look at that. That's red right there. So that is a lot of rain right there. It's going to fall. It's going to come down very quick, and that's why there's a flooding threat as well. You can see we could see 1 to 2 inches of rain, which we need because we're still in the drought. But it's going to come down really fast, and that is the concern. And again, if we go and we look at the front on here, here's the front. It looks more like an LLJ type of situation, so it definitely looks like an LLJ type of situation. Let's go ahead and look at the winds at 850. Oh, yeah, it's an LLJ for sure. Yep, it's an LLJ. So we're going to be dealing with an LLJ type of situation. Now, it's too far out to talk. Well, I have another video Wednesday night, and we have a better idea about this storm system. Obviously, this is going to be a much busier week than last week, so we've got a lot to talk about. So we'll have to watch the potential for this LLJ, and definitely some winds with this as well. But for the next couple of days, let's go ahead and look at the NAM. I don't have the full 18Z NAM, a full 0Z NAM, but let's look at the NAM and see what this has for rain chances. And again, it does develop a couple of showers actually tomorrow for southern Jersey. Very interesting. It does that in the morning. And then Tuesday, there could be sucky drizzle, particularly South Jersey. Hopefully it avoids Long Island. That's as far out as we got, out to Wednesday. But as we get into Wednesday, that's when I think we're going to start seeing the increasing chances for that wet weather to start making its way into our area, and maybe some sucky drizzle at times. We'll have to see. I call it sucky drizzle because I hate it. I don't like drizzle. Drizzle is awful. It doesn't accomplish anything. We can look at some other models as far as what is going to happen for precipitation. Again, we only have the longer range models for our next chances of precipitation. This is what the GFS is showing: heavier rain to the west, but it could be quite a soaker for Thursday. Now we'll go and look at the skies. Okay, so here's the RGM. So skies have cleared out. And tomorrow, except for some clouds, I think over southern Jersey, I think that it's going to be a mostly sunny day. I think it's going to be that's the nicest day of the week, because as we get to Tuesday, you start seeing the clouds kind of increase off to the south. And then Wednesday, we'll have to deal with some more cloud cover. We'll have to see. There's dry air that we'll be fighting. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what winds up happening. All right. With that. All right. That's one model. Let's go ahead and look at the NAM. And again, we can only use the 18Z NAM for this. This is the 18Z NAM for tomorrow. And you can see it's got a good amount of clouds over the southern half of New Jersey, though, again, it's mostly sunny on Long Island. And then as we get to Tuesday, the NAM keeps Tuesday mostly sunny, really enough. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I don't believe that. So let's go back to the Ventus sky. And we'll go ahead and look at this for a moment. And we're going to go to a couple of sites here and look at the wind gusts situation. All right, so for our area, it won't be that windy tomorrow. Tuesday, start to see the winds start picking up here. And then by Wednesday, we start seeing the winds pick up a little more. And this is when we may have some coastal flooding issues. It's Thursday that we really got to be concerned about these winds. This is the Icon model, which honestly looks a lot different than some of the other models here. I don't want to use that far out. Thunderstorms, I don't think it's not really showing any cape, but that is bound to change. Windy.com, let's go there. And go ahead and look at the winds situation for... so this is Wednesday, and you can see the European here. The winds are starting to pick up here. And then as we get to Thursday, there could be gusts close to 50 miles an hour. So I think Thursday is going to need a wind advisory and maybe some coastal flood advisories. And if you like looking at the leaves, well, I think a lot of them are going to get knocked off the trees by some of this wind here, except maybe the oaks. But whatever hasn't changed yet, but whatever has changed is going to be pretty much knocked out by the rain and wind on Thursday. You can see there some pretty, and then behind the storm it'll also be windy, but not wind advisory weather, but it will be windy. And let's go ahead and look at the waves. All right, so here are the waves, and you see the ocean is going to get stirred up by this as well. So you're going to have, again, 11 footers. And let's not forget Melissa offshore, which, again, could affect things. Here's Melissa. Though it's farther away, it could still stir things up and keep things a little turbulent on the ocean. So we'll have to see how that affects things. Okay. Um, Cloud cover, I'll just use this to show you the extended cloud cover forecast here. Obviously, as we get into, this is Thursday. It's just Thursday, right? So you can see that heavy rain. And then behind it, we clear out in the morning. And then Friday, we'll have sun, but it's probably going to give way to clouds again. So similar type of deal. And Saturday, probably be the similar type of deal with that instability trough again. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. So, lastly, let's go to the Climate Prediction Center. 6 to 10 day outlook. Actually, I think we see some changes here. So, the west is above normal, well above normal, but the east below normal. So, they do have cooler weather coming in as we get into November. Above normal precipitation, slight chance of above normal precipitation. You can see the best chances for below normal precipitation are going to be in the south, and above normal, best chances are going to be in the corners there, you see. All right. Moving to the 8 to 14 day, we see more below normal temperatures for the east and near normal precipitation. So it seems like we are going to experience some colder weather as we head into November. Although, like I said, it hasn't been too warm. It hasn't been that cold either. Nothing really that chilly. It's just been fairly seasonal. So I think that wraps up this long weather video. Have a good night. I'll probably have another weather video. Well, I'm probably going to have some updates on Hurricane Melissa, as well as our weather as we get closer to this could be kind of stormy Thursday. Have a good night.